Hello everyone, welcome back to Swime Siksha. Well, today we're going to continue the earlier series that we did, which is species in the news. So today we're going to discuss them again, like the leftover species, whichever were in the news, we're going to discuss them again. So let's see the first one. So the rare black soft-shell turtle. Well, until the sightings, along with Brahmaputra's drainage in Assam earlier, so they used to be, you know, saw there, but these turtles were actually declared as extinct in the wild, so they have been declared as extinct. But as of now, it was confined only to the ponds of temples in northeastern India and Bangladesh. So right now they were only present in the ponds of these temples, which were present in northeastern India and Bangladesh. And according to the IUCN data, IUCN is nothing but the International Union of Conservation of Nature. So according to the IUCN. So this has been listed, like this turtle has been listed as critically endangered in 2021 list. So earlier it was thought as extinct, but right now we've seen their presence. So that's why they have been declared as critically endangered in the IUCN list of 2021. So that's why this was in the news. And as we could see, the major temple in Assam has cited this. So the NGOs along with the Assam State Zoo Botanical Garden. So where they are taking care of this for their conservation. So this freshwater black soft turtle was also called as Nilsonia nigricans. So if there is any pronunciation mistake, I'm so sorry, but so that's what it called as. So now let's see the next one. So this is a very interesting one. If I could say, this was pronounced as Bharitala squas tapani. So this seems very interesting. Yes, because it is actually unknown to the science as of now. So this was named, named as Bhari Tala Shuchas Talapani, considering as the Telugu etymology, because it was named in the Telugu language. So why it was named in the Telugu language, I'll let you know. So if we, you know, divide this name, so we will get to know the words. So here Bhari, which is called as huge in Telugu language, whereas Tala, which is known as head, and Suchas, which is actually it's the name of an Egyptian crocodile. So where it was headed as a deity in Egyptian. So a Egyptian crocodile name was called as Suchas. So that's why they're given the name. And this Talapani is nothing but it is named after the paleontologist Tapan Roy Chowdhury in the honor of his, contribution to the Indian vertebrate paleontology, and especially his extensive work on the Yerrapalli Formation tetrapod fauna. So this was actually found in Yerrapalli Formation, which was present Telangana region. So that's why the Telugu name was actually given for it, because it was found there. So, and as I said, Tapani, which was named after the paleontologist of Tapan Roy Chowdhury. And this reptile is actually belonged to a family of an extinct reptiles, which was named after Erythrosuchiridae. So these are very technical terms, I must say. So this was called as Erythro. Erythrosuchiridae. So this was the name of a reptile family which they have been taken up with or belong to it. And it was neglected because the fossil specimen was not as complete as of other, erythrosuchids from the other countries. So the family which we are talking about of this reptiles, so where they are completely has the fossils, but whereas this the Pani reptiles fossil was actually not so clear. So that's why we couldn't gave a clear picture of it. And not only that, the Tapani were actually a robust animals. If we could see the environment or their, if we talk about their timeline, so with big heads and large teeth and probably, predated on other small reptiles. So they were approximately the size of an adult male lion and might have been the largest predators in their ecosystem. So So far, this was the timeline and the nature and the family of all the details about this unknown reptile as of now. So this was a new discovery. So we might get a chance to have a question about this. Now let's see the next one. So Littoria mira. So this was another interesting one because this was a frog species which exactly looked or it looks like it was made up from a chocolate. So the color itself, as you could see, it looks like a chocolate frog, just like in the movies and all. So yes, this cocoa colored frogs have turned out to be a new species. So it has, a well-known relative, like or the family relative, if we must say. It's a common green tree frog of Australia, which is Littoria cerulean. So it belongs to that Littoria cerulean family. So, but as of now, this was in chocolate color, or else as we could say the cocoa color. Okay, so this Littoria mira can be distinguished from all other Littoria by its unique combination of moderately, it was like a large size and webbing on the hand. As you could see in the picture, it has very large comparing to the other frogs. The webbing of the hand was a little bit long comparing to the other frogs. And not only that, these were relatively short and they have robust limbs and a small violet kind of a patch of skin on the edge of its eyes. So as you could see your picture, so it has a violet tinge like at just edge of its eye. So that's how it makes it so unique. Especially as you could see in the picture, it looks like it was made from a chocolate, but no, it's a real frog. So yes, this was the new discovery. It is Littoria mira. Okay, now let's talk about the next species, which is the black buck. So where the Odishan black bucks was has been doubled in 6 years. Well, these black bucks are actually found in Ganjam district in the southern part of the state, which is Odisha. And in Odisha and Ganjam, it was actually called as Krishnasara Mruga. Okay, so it was called as Krishnasara Muga. And earlier, black buck used to be sighted in the Balukand and Konark Wildlife Sanctuary in Puri district till 2012 and 13. Okay, so it was earlier it was visible in that wildlife sanctuary, but on of a sudden they has been started to vanish and they have been relocated. So this black buck is actually a scheduled one animal according to the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and considered as vulnerable according to the Red Book data earlier. And now it is the present status of this black buck became least concerned. Okay, so earlier it was considered as vulnerable. So that means in the past it was considered as vulnerable. And right now, because of the double uh, population which was happened in the past 6 years, so it came to the status of least concern. And the reason for their rise is actually the improvement of the habitats, the protection given by the local people and the forest staff, where, these were some of the reasons where their increase in the population has been, grown in the past 6 years. And the people of Ganjam believe that actually, if a sighting of their black buck, which was, happened in their paddy field, which brings them luck. Okay, so they just believe that it brings luck to them. So, yes, with the help of all the Odisha government and the environmentalist where this black buck became double in the past 6 years. Okay, now let's see the next one, which is the rare white-bellied heron, which was spotted in Arunachal Pradesh. So it is also recorded in, adjacent Kamlang Tiger Reserve in the Lohit district in some of the camera trap images, not only in the Arunachal Pradesh where, we could see in the See, it was the rarest bird where we could see in the world, and it is found only in Bhutan, Myanmar, and Namdapha Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh. Whereas it was also found, there has been camera trap images recorded that this bird was actually present in the Kamlang Tiger Reserve as well. Okay, so which was in the Lohit district, which was in the Lohit district. And not only that, this was considered as critically endangered in the IUCN Red Data list, and it was listed in the Schedule 4 in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. And as we could see, The recent sighting at a height of 1200 meters above the sea level. So this was the first at such a higher elevation which they have been sighted in India. So 1200 meters above the sea level, where we, in the high elevation where we sighted this for the first time. And the presence of the nesting sites which were in the, the tiger reserves and adjacent tiger reserves, where we see that the nesting sites have been present of this herons. So where it is a kind of a good positive sign for the future habitant, as the breeding season for them was actually starts from February and lasts till June. So that's how the breeding season done in this white bellied heron. And not only that, so it was actually the critically endangered bird, so which is actually establishing a new habitat beyond its traditional range, is something which is a positive sign. So these herons were started to out from their traditional range and started to nest in the India. So which is really, really good. So again, a critically endangered one started to breed means, of course, it will come out of that critically endangered position. So yes, these are the five important ones that I want to discuss today. But we will come up with another new series, whereas there are a lot more species to discuss again. So, but that's all for today. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon for the notifications. And please do follow our social media links, and there is our website link in the description box below. Please do check out the courses and the services that we're going to provide. So that's all for today. Thank you.